Hi, I'm Joe with Gramophone, and all the high-end vinyl playback lovers in our vast grouping of people who like to watch our videos are going to really enjoy this one. We're here again with our good friend Robert Bruce of Pro-Ject. Robert, how you feeling?
I'm doing great.
Good. And you have a rather spectacular new top-of-the-line product to show us from the good folks at Pro-Ject. So let's talk just a little bit about all the things that you have on offer here.
Sure. This is the culmination of 34 years of research, development, and manufacturing of turntables for Pro-Ject in Austria. This is the new Signature 12.2, the very top of the range of the Pro-Ject line. The parts quality, build quality, engineering that went into this product are unsurpassed, certainly anywhere near the price range. This is a turntable that's not inexpensive. It's $15,000. However, its performance will exceed anything in the price range that I've heard. The parts quality is alone amazing. There are over 100 individually machined and polished parts in the construction of the turntable. The weight of the turntable is well over 100 pounds. A really amazing variation of a unit pivot. This actually has 2 pivot points unique to the bearing design of this Tonearm. This is a 12-inch Tonearm sitting on a sub-chassis, which is completely isolated from the base and from the motors. And I said motors plural, there are 2 of them. One motor drives from the front to a pulley, one motor in the back to a pulley, and then the pulley itself is actually an idler wheel that drives the platter. Both motors then, if there were any noise or mechanical energy or speed variation in each motor, they cancel each other out. The speed consistency, because of using 2 really high precision motors, is better here. This has fully adjustable feet to get the mass of the turntable isolated from whatever it's sitting on and to get the platform, the plinth, level and stable. The end result is a massive turntable with the ultimate level of performance of a turntable that Pro-Ject has ever produced. This is the first public showing in the US and really worthwhile to take a look and give a listen to.
So Robert, we could say a couple of things right off the bat here. First off, you were probably being modest about it, but this is a beautiful turntable. Now, we buy these things to listen to them, but, let's be honest, we're all oftentimes pretty proud of our audio gear, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. Second thing is, from your description, this is the finest Tonearm that you guys have used in a turntable to date.
Yes.
That's accurate?
It is.
Third thing is, as you know, with turntables, so much of it of what we hear is going to be the speed accuracy, which here, really, because of the way you've done this motor arrangement with the twin motors, the speed accuracy is probably as good of a speed accuracy as you've ever done, correct?
It is, yes.
And then on top of that, the isolation from any kind of either airborne vibrations, cabinet-borne vibrations. People put these on all kinds of things. Sometimes they're extremely stable, sometimes not so much. But you've really done a great job with the engineering of this and isolating it from whatever kind of vibrations.
It's the quietest measuring plinth that Pro-Ject has ever made. The corners are rounded, and that's specifically for a reason. But the mass, the engineering, the end result is the best performance in a turntable that Pro-Ject has ever made.
And you're right to say that it's not inexpensive at $15,000, but just on my limited knowledge of the high-end turntable market, this probably, I would say, represents pretty good value. If somebody really wants a top-of-the-line product, they're going to have a hard time beating this out.
They are, even double or triple the price.
Anything else you want to let us know about this marvelous 12.2?
Well, it's limited availability,
yes.
And the demand is such that even though it was announced late last year, we've only been able to deliver 3 so far, and they are back ordered. We probably won't have them available before the end of the year.
Okay.
So the drawback is it's been a huge success, and Pro-Ject can't make enough of them.
But in a way, of course, that's a good problem to have, I guess. All good things are worth waiting for, right? Robert, this turntable is not quite at that price level, but it's also absolutely beautiful. So maybe you can share with us a little bit with this one.
Sure. This is the new Pro-Ject Classic Reference Turntable. It is a traditional looking turntable, and the platter and the tone arm are isolated from the plinth and the motor and power supply. This separation here, the sub-chassis floats on the plinth. This has a brand new reference level tone arm. This has a wonderful level of performance and a traditional style based on the old classic that Pro-Ject has made for 15 years or so. The engineers looked at what they could do to make this much better, and that was improve bearing quality, improve motor and power supply, improve the mass and quality of the sub-chassis, and put an all-new tone arm. This is a new EVO AS Premium, and this is an arm that has a detachable headshell. So for someone who wants to have multiple cartridges, this makes that very easy. You simply unthread the headshell from the tone arm, have another cartridge, put that into here, make your adjustments for tracking force and anti-skate, and you're ready to play a different cartridge. But really great performance, traditional looking. This does come with a dust cover, which we don't have on there right now, but does come complete with a dust cover. But this guy is going to sell for around $7,000. It's also available in black with polished chrome at $6,000, and that's pending what might happen with tariffs and other factors influencing the price of things in the world today.
So this looks terrific, and I'm sure it looks great in black as well. Is there anything additional that you want to share with us about this tone arm? Because this is a really pretty cool arrangement and slightly different than what you've done before.
It is. The primary thing is a massive bearing housing.
It's huge.
Which draws mechanical energy away from the tone arm itself. It has very high precision bearings internally to make sure that the arm moves perfectly but does not have any outside influences or any rattling or vibrating or any movement that it shouldn't have. It is wired internally with silver wire. It has a precision machined and damped counterweight. So even the counterweight has isolation to prevent any mechanical energy from being picked up by the counterweight and being transmitted into the tone arm. Folks often think that this is a compromise with a removable headshell, but a lot of attention was paid to the collar and the headshell. This is our reference headshell, which is available separately. Has adjustable azimuth on the side, which is really unique for a headshell, but a fantastic performer that doesn't compromise performance, even though you have the removable headshell capability.
And again, this is a belt drive.
Of course.
Yep. And because that's kind of what you guys do. I think there's going to be a lot of people, Robert, who are just drawn to the classic look of this because it really has that very traditional look that a lot of people like to go for. But it's not simply a traditional look. It's also a matter of really getting the suspension so that, again, as we spoke about with your new top-of-the-line 12.2, you're keeping vibrations out of the picture as much as you possibly can.
And without the hassle of setup of a spring-loaded sub-chassis. There are other European manufacturers that make turntables that look like this, that use springs internally, and those springs over time compress and shift and change, and the turntable has to be readjusted and reset up. This is, it's set up once, and it will hold its setup for ages.
Now, are you able to talk about the secret sauce of how the engineers constructed it so that it wouldn't have to use springs?
Yes. Instead of using springs, there are thermopolymer elastomer balls inside. And the size and density of those determines how much spring there is. There's not a lot of spring. It's not a lot of movement. It's tuned for acoustic isolation rather than for mechanical One of the other unique features of this turntable, like most of the premium models in the Pro-Ject range, this turntable is capable of being operated fully balanced. So the tone arm is terminated both balanced XLR and RCA with ground. If you put a moving coil cartridge on this, you can wire this fully balanced into one of the Pro-Ject balanced phono preamps. That gives the very best connection from the cartridge all the way into the phono preamp, and that is a common thread between every model in the Pro-Ject range now, from the debut Pro B all the way on up to the signature 12.2. Our new phono preamps from the PhonoBox S3B up to our reference RS2 PhonoBox are all balance capable as well. Even if you don't connect the phono preamp to your system balanced, the big advantage is to connect the phono cartridge via balanced to the phono preamp. And so now our line is expanding in the world of true balanced phono setups.
Continuing to have success with the true balanced approach, which is great, which you and I did a video on already. Well, Robert, thank you so much for showing us these two beautiful turntables. Love it that you're coming in with such high performance units because, as you know, debut Carbon EVO sells like you can hardly keep the stuff in stock. They're so successful, but it's great to see you having success with, really now very high performance units, as well as, great sounding, more entry-level priced products. So we want to thank all of you for coming along on this little video journey with Robert and with Pro-Ject turntables. We love it that you can join us for these sorts of things. If you haven't thus far, please like and subscribe. That helps us out a ton. Click that little bell icon so you're notified of our upcoming content. You can find out more about Pro-Ject and all of our great brands at Gramophone.com. And you can shop for Pro-Ject products at Sky by Gramophone, where you always get secure checkout, fast and free shipping straight to your door. Thank you so much for watching this video. We look forward to seeing you at the next one.